Title: The Haunted Hotel. Chapter 1. The Invitation. It started with an email. A simple message from an unfamiliar sender with the subject line, "Exclusive invitation to the Grand Hollow Hotel." Alice stared at the screen, her curiosity piqued. The email claimed she had won an all-expenses-paid weekend at a luxurious historic hotel nestled deep in the remote mountains. She had never entered any contest, but the photos attached showed stunning architecture and serene landscapes. The timing was perfect. She needed a break from the relentless noise of city life. Without overthinking, she accepted. Chapter 2. The Arrival. The road to the Grand Hollow Hotel twisted through dense forests, the trees growing taller and closer, as if they conspired to swallow the path. The car's GPS lost signal miles before she arrived. As she approached, the hotel emerged like a shadow from the mist, an imposing structure with towering spires, its faded grandeur hinting at a forgotten era. The doorman, dressed in an outdated uniform, greeted her without warmth. Inside, the hotel was eerily silent. The grand chandelier above the lobby flickered slightly, casting long, quivering shadows on the cracked marble floor. The walls were adorned with faded portraits whose subjects seemed to watch her, their eyes glinting faintly in the dim light. Alice noticed there were no other guests. Chapter 3. The Staff. The receptionist, a woman with hollow eyes and an unnervingly stiff smile, handed Alice an old-fashioned key. "Room 313, she whispered. "Enjoy your stay." Alice felt a chill. The staff moved like mannequins brought to life, precise, robotic, with forced pleasantries. They never blinked, and their footsteps echoed unnervingly, even on carpeted floors. Her room was cold, the wallpaper peeling in faded strips. The mirror above the dresser was foggy, though there was no moisture in the room. As she unpacked, she noticed an old radio on the nightstand, dusty but still functional. That night, she heard static from the radio. She hadn't turned it on. Chapter 4. The Voices. Alice sat up in bed, her heart pounding. The radio emitted faint whispers beneath the static, unintelligible yet rhythmic, like a chant. She approached it cautiously. As her fingers brushed the dial, the static ceased abruptly. Then she heard it clearly. "Don't look in the mirror." She spun around. The mirror across the room reflected her bed, her suitcase, the dresser, but not her. The room seemed to grow colder. The faint outlines of handprints appeared on the foggy glass, pressing outward from within. Chapter 5. The Hallway. Panicked, Alice grabbed her phone. No signal. She fled her room, rushing down the long corridor. The hallway seemed endless, the lights flickering as she passed. Doors lined the walls, each slightly ajar, revealing glimpses of dark, empty rooms with shadows that didn't seem to match any furniture. She stopped when she saw a shadow move ahead. A figure stood at the end of the hall, facing away. Alice called out, but the figure didn't respond. It turned slowly, revealing a face identical to hers, except the eyes were completely black. Alice ran. Chapter 6. The Guests. She stumbled into the lobby, breathless. The receptionist was still there, her expression unchanged. "Is everything all right, Miss Alice?" she asked without emotion. There was someone in the hall," Alice gasped. The receptionist tilted her head slightly. "Of course, our guests never leave." Alice realized then the hotel wasn't empty. It was full of guests who couldn't leave, their souls trapped behind doors, reflected in mirrors, whispered through radios. Chapter 7. The Escape Attempt. Determined to flee, Alice found the front doors locked tight. She smashed a chair against the glass, but it didn't even crack. She tried the stairwell, only to find it spiraled endlessly downward. Each door she opened led back to room 313. The hotel was alive, shifting around her, the walls pulsing faintly as if breathing. Chapter 8. The Revelation. In the basement, she discovered old photographs, black and white images of smiling guests from different eras. She recognized faces from the staff. They hadn't aged. One photo made her blood run cold. It was her, standing in the lobby wearing the same clothes as now. The photo was dated 1924, but she was born in 1995. Chapter 9. The Truth. Alice wasn't a guest. She was part of the hotel. The invitation wasn't an offer, it was a summons. Memories flooded back. She had been here before. She had never left. The hotel had claimed her soul long ago, erasing her memories, recycling her identity like the others. Every time she arrived, she thought it was her first time. The whispers grew louder, not warnings but reminders. Welcome back, Alice. Epilogue. Weeks later, a new guest arrived, greeted by the same hollow-eyed receptionist. Behind the desk, a framed photograph hung on the wall. It was Alice, smiling with the staff, her eyes as empty as theirs. The end.